Hey everybody, you know what day it is. It's finally Friday. And that means that I'm ready for a nap. Because I'm tired. Because it's been a long week. I don't know why, but it has. But Friday, that means I'm on Facebook. Whoop whoop. And so if you ask a question using using the hashtag. That's hard to say sometimes. Katie FAQ, I found it and I answered, and I have 4 of them. Some of which, if you asked your question, you were like, Katie, you didn't tell me you're answering it. Notice that some of these will probably answer your question, because oftentimes I'll get multiple questions that are very similar, and I'll forget to go back and let all of you know that I've answered your question. So I hope that this answers more than 4 people's questions. Without further ado, question number 1. Katie, I was seeing a counselor for anxiety, but my insurance didn't cover her and I couldn't afford it anymore. I saw my doctor and he keeps trying to put me on antipsychotic medication for anxiety. I don't want to take it, but he seems to have an attitude and I keep asking for different things. What do you suggest I do? I had a lot of versions of this. I had another saying, what if I don't want to go on any medication? And I think the main topic of this is, what do we do when they want to put us on something and we don't want to? Doesn't matter if we've already been on something, we don't want to go on this particular thing, or if we don't want to go on medication at all and we're afraid that they're going to keep pushing it on us, which, to be honest, psychiatrists, the majority of them nowadays, don't really see us for a full hour, and they don't do therapy while at the same time prescribing medication. A lot of what psychiatrists do today is now called med management, where they have you come in and they're like, hey, so you've been on Cymbalta for 6 weeks. How are you feeling? Are you having any side effects? Blah, 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 blah. They just ask you about the medication. And that's it. And if you want to talk about, your feelings and stuff, then you call me, your therapist. So it can be tricky if that's all you're seeing, if that's the only person you're seeing. Because if you don't want to be on medication, I would encourage you just to see a therapist, because we don't prescribe medication. That would be illegal. I'm not a doctor. You can't call me Dr. Katie. It's just Kati Morton, MFTI, right? So, yeah. So if you don't want medication, I wouldn't go see a psychiatrist. Like if the person in this one who said she's already seen a psychiatrist, I would have your argument and even ask the doctor, well, why do you feel I should be on it? What is it that I'm missing with what I'm already on? It's your body. It's your choice. You don't have to take anything. He might get an attitude because he or she, whoever the psychiatrist is, thinks they know best. And you think you know best. And both of you are right, because they know best when it comes to medication, but you know your body best and your experience, and it's your choice. So speak up, be heard, and if you don't like the advice or what they're offering you, then find somebody else, okay? Hope that helps. Question number 2. Hi, Katie. When you begin your recovery, is it normal for you to feel like you've taken a huge step back? And I mean huge. I have never binged and purged for more than X days in a row, but I have since I started addressing my eating disorder. I also bought a scale and I cannot seem to get off of it. I know this doesn't mean I should quit recovery, but is this pattern unusual? I feel really hopeless. Thank you. It's so normal. I know this is terrible, but for any of you who haven't been following me for a long period of time or haven't gone back and watched all my videos, which I almost have 300, so I totally get it if you haven't. But I have a video way back in the day called, actually there's 2 of them, but one is I miss my eating disorder, because it's kind of what, it's like our eating disorder gets a little ramped up. And also I have one that's called Why Does It Feel Worse First in Recovery. I don't know if that's the actual title. I think it's Why Does It Feel Worse When We Start Recovery? Anyway, I bet if you search feel worse in my channel, you'll find it. And the reason for this is because we haven't addressed anything. And it's really hard when we first start addressing stuff. It's almost like we've been ostriches. We've had our heads in the sand. They're the ones that stick their heads in the sand, right? So anyway, we have our heads in the sand. And we don't want to deal. But then when we finally come out, we look around, we're like, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff we have to deal with. And our eating disorder goes crazy because it's our only coping skill. If it's not eating disorder that you struggle with, it's self-harm, the urges get worse at first. Also our anxiety, depression, whatever it is, can get really bad when we first start working on ourselves, because it's our only coping skill. So I would encourage you to be honest about your struggles. Say, I've never had it as bad as I am right now. Let them know you need some extra support. And also, utilize my eating disorder workbook. I know it's hard. I know it's a lot of work, but it will really, really help. So I would download that on my website, katimorton.com, and get started. And the self-harm workbook is coming together. I know many of you are like, Katie, I've tried to click and it's not downloading. That's because I'm finalizing it. I know I was fighting with the website. I think I figured it out. I have to add my disclaimer saying, This is a no-way therapy. And then I think we're good to go. So stay tuned shortly because it will be out. Okay? And thank you for your patience on that too. Sorry it's taken so long. Okay, question number 3. Please answer. And I am. Due to me turning 18, I have to leave my current therapist who I've known for nearly 2 years and see a new one. I'm so upset and I don't want to leave. I feel so rushed because I feel like there's only a month to say everything that I've ever wanted to. There are still big issues which I've never gotten into, and now there's not enough time. Every time I speak about leaving in a session, I just start crying. I don't know what to do or how to make it easier. I'm already struggling more recently, and I think that this will make it worse. First of all, that really sucks that you have to switch. I'm sorry. Maybe they only see children, I would assume, since you said you're just turning 18, but I'm so sorry for that. And it can be really hard to lose a therapist, and I would encourage you to even watch my Grief and Grieving video, because to be honest, you're grieving the loss of this relationship and what this meant to you. But the one thing I want to caution you against is feeling like you have to take this month and you have to share everything and work on everything you want to share and work on, because you can do that with your next therapist. What I would encourage you to take this month and do is process the loss. Talk about it in therapy, cry it out. I would encourage you to put together a list of things that you have worked on with her and how far you've come and the things you've accomplished that you're really proud of. Even if it's just you allowed me to trust someone else outside of my friends and family and it felt really good to have a place to vent, whatever it is, share where you've come from and where you're at now and all the work you've done together. And process, take this month to not do any more work on you and working through your treatment plan unless something's happening now and you have to talk about it. But spend this time to process the loss because it's really hard. And moving on from a therapist, I can say from personal experience, takes time. And I still, to this day, I'm like, oh, I wish Rebecca was still in practice because my therapist retired and I'd seen her for years, all through undergrad, grad, and then it was like, boom, nothing. So I totally get it, and take this time to process that and give yourself the freedom to feel sad and upset and struggling. It's okay. You're going through a big transition, okay? Question number 4. Hi, Katie. I'm 11 years old and have gone through a very weird stage that's led me to drastic mood changes, and I have a feeling that it may be bipolar, but I don't know how to tell anyone. I go from extremely high to rock bottom on the floor. Please help. Lots of love. You're 11 years old, so it sounds like you'd probably have to talk to your parents about it, which I know sucks, and we don't want to talk to our parents because they never seem to get it, but they're going to have to be the ones that get you help. There are some caveats within therapy where if parents aren't on board and they're not supportive, let's say maybe they are the ones that were abused, we as therapists are allowed to take you on without their consent, but 11 is too young. I believe the beginning is like 12 or 13. So I would encourage you to talk to your parents and just to say whichever parent you're closest to, maybe your dad or your mom, and say something to the effect of, I've just been really struggling lately and I'd really like to talk to someone. I'm feeling my mood's all over the place. It'd just be nice to have some place to vent. And I think getting someone to talk to, just the therapist, would give you a nice gauge as to what it is you're really struggling with. Are there other ways we can cope? Sometimes if our mood's all over the place, it's not due to bipolar disorder. It can be many other things. And it can even be diet. So if we are struggling with an eating disorder and you're maybe on the anorexic side or binging and purging, whatever it is, and your body's not getting the nutrients it needs, our brain runs on all of our different hormones, and hormones run on our nutrients. And if our body's not getting what it needs, our mood is like so labile. It's all over the place. So I would encourage you to check into a couple of those things, a therapist being the most important. But if you think your eating may be causing it as well, I would see your doctor and get some blood work done just to be sure. Okay? Journal topic. Now this comes from, and I won't say their name because they didn't say if I could or not, but it comes from one of my followers. And I love it when you guys give me journal topics. And someone also sent me, Elisa, which I think that's how she told me to say it, sent me a big list of them. So thank you so much. And this person said, hey, Katie, I'm not sure if you filmed yet for your Friday video, but for the journal topic, I had an idea. I'm in government this semester, and we're learning about what the government has to secure for us, which is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? We've all heard that in the States. Okay, my government teacher told us for our homework this weekend, when we have to do something that helps us pursue our happiness. I literally got teary-eyed because sometimes it's so hard to just do something that's for yourself. Love your videos. What can we do to improve our happiness? What's something that you can do that's just for you? It's totally selfish and totally indulgent. What can that be? Because oftentimes we're so judgmental on ourselves, we don't even give ourselves an inch to be like, well, I'd really prefer to have that, but I'm going to have this, or I'm going to do this, or, I told that friend I'd do that, and I just can't say no. I've double booked myself, or whatever we've done. We have a 3-day weekend here in the States, so how about you take one of those days and make sure you do something that's just for you and that improves your happiness, and then let me know about it, okay? I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll have a regularly scheduled video coming out on Monday, and then Tuesday I'll be on Tumblr, so ask your questions, and I'll see you then. Bye!